The alligator has been eating some bat soup? What is going on, fight fans and full-time family? Jacare Souza has tested positive for the coronavirus and scratched from UFC 249. His fight against Uriah Hall. This was perfect matchmaking. These guys were going to have a great fight on a stacked card, and it is unfortunate we lose Jacare Souza from the card. And also, even though the system worked in this situation, because Jacare was asymptomatic and he was quarantined because he revealed that one of his family members tested positive, and so he was quarantined and tested, and he found positive before he could infect an opponent or any of the medical staff on scene of the fights. This is still very concerning. Let me explain. The Florida State Athletic Commission has responded and said that this system worked. And it did work right in this instance. But the scary part, honestly, is Jacare. He disclosed that a family member had it. What about the fighters that maybe are a little more desperate, don't maybe have as much money, newer fighters that are, this is their opportunity for the big stage? And what if they're asymptomatic? What if they went to, a gas station and they don't know that the person tested positive a week later and they're asymptomatic and they go take a fight? Those are things that can still happen. And I really hope it doesn't. I mean, the only way that's going to happen is if the UFC books Ferguson versus Khabib versus for the 6th time. And then we got to start worrying. But I mean, man, I really don't even want to, jinx it and talk that into existence, because tomorrow is UFC 249, and this is the first major sporting event in maybe 6 weeks, and we're dying for it. And UFC 249 is still good to go because the system worked, according to the Florida State Athletic Commission. And that's all we can go with right now. That I'm happy about that. And we know that they're taking all the proper precautions, or Disney wouldn't have allowed this. UFC tried to pull off a fight card a couple of weeks ago, and Disney pulled the plug, said, no, man, we can't do it right now. We've got to get things under control, a better read on everything before they felt safe of actually having an event. So if Disney felt like this wasn't a good idea, then they would not be allowing the UFC to pull this off. And those are people who have a lot more money than us and a lot more at stake than us. So who are we to complain about a situation like this when we're about to, you know, get to watch these fights? And we're only losing one fight on a stacked card. It does suck to lose this fight. As I said, this was a great time for these guys to fight. Jacare Souza, former top 5 ranked middleweight, taking on Uriah Hall, top 15 ranked middleweight, really throughout his entire career. But always had a lot of potential. It's just he never really realized it. But still, he is currently riding a 2-fight winning streak, and Jacare is currently riding a 2-fight losing streak. So it was the perfect time for these guys to meet up. And it sucks we lose this fight, but hey, at least it was this fight and not like Ferguson versus Gaethje, right? Or or Cejudo versus Cruz or something like that. That would have, so you gotta count your blessings. So with that being said, Jacare Souza has tested positive for the coronavirus and scratched from UFC 249, but the fights will go on. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments.